Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's live stream presentation here on my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe out there. I'm really happy to have another top 3 event, and I'm happy to have Domi on tonight. Domi Miller from Pennsylvania, my old home state, our home state, which is why we're going with the top 3 Pennsylvanians. Domi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be fun. I know the lists obviously because I'm hosting, and I had to make some visuals. And I know we agreed on one, and we disagreed on every other one. So we're going to have 5 good picks tonight for people to think about when they think about Pennsylvania. If anyone here is from Pennsylvania who's going to be coming into the chat, please let us know in the chat where you're from, or just let us know in general where you're from. Heck, I like to see where everyone's at. Domi, for anyone who hasn't seen you do some stuff online, what is it that you do, and how did you get involved in history?
Sure. So my day job is I am the Third Circuit Court of Appeals librarian for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, which is just a really fancy way of saying that I do the law research for the Pennsylvania Middle District, and I help the judges and the law clerks with their legal research. And that helps me pay for my side hobby, which is history, because as well as I do that it doesn't pay that great. And I'm a Civil War reenactor with the 87th PA Company C out of York County, and I'm a second corporal now, so that's exciting. And I run the Preserving the History of Newburytown Facebook group. So my goal was to make a historical society for Newbury Township, and that grew to over 9,000 people on our Facebook group. And I also have Instagram. And then my colleague and I, Jamie Norpel, do a vlog on YouTube and on Facebook Live called Hometown History. And we only do York County historical topics. And we've been doing that for 3 years now. We're 4 seasons in. We have over 100 videos on YouTube, and we still haven't run out of York County history topics.
That's amazing. I've been doing the tattoo historian stuff for a decade as of a couple of days ago, and I just have like 370 videos. So you all are already like a third of the way to where I am. So congratulations.
Yeah, we do a full 45-minute video every month, and then usually we have about a 15-minute video, which is either a sidebar or an interview with someone that's like a historian or someone relevant to the topic that we're talking about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All history is local, is the way I
keep
saying it. Val, welcome in from Newburytown. Welcome.
Oh, I love it. Newburytown represent.
There you go. We're already getting the Pennsylvanians in the chat here. This is great. Bringing back memories for me. So if anyone who has never hung out when we're doing a top 3 event here on my channel, some of you people who are my generation will remember VH1's The List. This is when we just that's where I got inspiration from. This is where we just go through and we list our top 3 whatever. We've done everything from Christmas movies to submarine movies to even our top 3 forts. And obviously, when I started to think about I was going to have Domi and Jamie at my live event in Gettysburg, and that never panned out. And then another live stream didn't pan out. And I said, look, we just need to do something fun. And we decided to do top 3 Pennsylvanians. So the way we run this, or the way I run this, is pretty simple. We do 3 rounds of picks in ascending order. So we're going to start at number 3. Each of us are going to give our number 3 picks, and then we're going to have a little bit of a break so that we can talk about other things a little bit. We're going to plug hometown history in one of those breaks. And some honorable mentions, obviously, as well, because I have a few that I didn't get to, or at least one who's a biggie for me, who's usually in my top 3, but I switched it up tonight. And we want to see your picks in the chat as well, or we want to hear your opinions of our picks in the chat. Be nice. Don't get too over the top here. I know everyone's anxious right now. Just stay calm. It'll be fine. They're just picks and opinions. But it'll be a lot of fun, and it's always a good time to do this. I'm sure with Domi, it's going to be a great time too, talking about our home state. So we're going to go right into round number 3. And as you can see, I also did something according to the number that we got going on here. There's old Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. So pick number 3 is, got something cool in the background. I think, what's he picking this one for? What's this? So I'm going to let Domi go first, obviously, because she is my guest. So go right ahead, Domi.
Thank you. My number 3 pick is Benjamin Franklin.
Yes. Why Big Ben?
I mean, he's just Mr. Pennsylvania. You know, he's one of our founding fathers. He was the only person in history to sign all four of the documents that founded our country.
Hmm.
And he just had some really weird hobbies, and I've always found him to be super interesting. Sometimes the weirder the person is, the more interesting they are to me.
Hmm. That's a good point. He was an eccentric,
Very much so. Yeah.
and I think it's a very solid pick with him. Because my home county was Franklin County, so
There you go.
it's named after Ben, and I loved what was the fellow that played him in John Adams? He just passed away. Tom.
Oh,
I
I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember his last name. It's so bad. But I loved his way of acting as Benjamin
Mhm.
Franklin. So good. And this guy Ben Franklin literally had like skeletons in his house, didn't he? Instead of his closet.
He did, yeah. When they were excavating, they found a bunch of skeletons under his house and they were afraid that he was a mass murderer. But no, he was just a scientist. And unfortunately, back in the 1700s, you didn't have anatomy books and anatomy classes. You had to just cut up the bodies yourself if you wanted to learn about it. So he was getting the cadavers on the black market, but he didn't kill the people. They came to him dead.
Yeah, that's good. He's not a mass murderer. So
No.
we don't need that floating around about Ben. He did some other things that are kind of weird, but he didn't do that.
Nope,
So
nope. The air baths were about as weird as it got.
yeah, yeah, we won't show that image of what that might be like. So Domi's first pick is right out of the gate, going pretty strong here with Ben Franklin. I have some notes on each of my picks that I'm going to be going over because I'm a nerd, and
It's fine.
it's part of being a being in a PhD program. You have notes for everything now, and so my number three pick is actually Milton Hershey.
I like
Uh,
that.
I am a chocoholic, and it's because of this man that I am a chocoholic. He's born in 1857 in Derry Township, and he's basically the man who brings the town of Hershey to life. Obviously, the name says it all. He left school in the fourth grade, and he tried and failed multiple times to start a candy business, but he never really gave up. He would start, it wouldn't go anywhere, and it would start and it wouldn't go anywhere. So he just kept trying and trying. And he learned to make caramels out of fresh milk in Denver. I don't know, do you say caramels or caramels?
Caramel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the way my family says it. I guess I've been in Canada too long now. He returns to Lancaster. Lancaster.
Lancaster. Yeah,
See?
you're
I've been out too long.
Canadian now.
And launched the Lancaster Caramel Company. I'm going to say caramel. It turned into a hit. And then
Mhm.
in 1900, he sold it for $1 million in 1900 money. And so it's big money now. It's big money in 1900. And
Absolutely.
he turned his attention then completely to chocolate. He was inspired by some of the machinery that he saw at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition, and
Mhm.
dreamed of mass production of milk chocolate. And so the dream of founding the Hershey Company came to life out of that. But he didn't build just a factory; he built the entire town with it. And he offered free schooling, healthcare, and even a trolley system for the people. Such socialist. And this is my kind of cat right here. He's like this is good. Um, Workers had access to amenities that was truly unheard of in industrial America. He
Mhm.
created a model town for the workers, complete with housing, schools, parks, and even that trolley. Believed that happy workers make better chocolate. You've heard of happy cows and
Yeah.
good milk? Here you go. Armchair Commander says Mars bars for life. You gotta love Mars bars, baby. You gotta love it. And here's something a lot of people don't know: Milton Hershey was set to sail on the Titanic.
I did know that.
There you
Yeah.
go. He had
History nerd.
history nerd. Yeah. For people in the chat who may not know, he had a ticket and he had a last minute meeting, and he didn't go.
Mhm.
So when you're
Thank
complaining
goodness.
about a meeting, maybe there's a reason why you should just go to the meeting instead. Uh, During the Second World War, they had the D ration bars, which
Mhm.
they tasted okay, but they weren't the best. They were heat resistant, high calorie intake for the troops. And so, unable to have children with his wife, Catherine, they decided to pour their heart into philanthropy, which led to the Milton Hershey School, which is still in operation today. So, this guy did so much for that part of Pennsylvania that I decided I had to put him in my top three. And as I said, since going sober, I'm now a chocoholic, and it's this guy's fault.
Well, some fun facts about me in relation to Milton Hershey. I was allergic to chocolate until I was 24 years old.
Oh,
I know. Yeah. Chocolate and nuts. So I never had a Reese's until I was 24. Wow. And my great grandparents who came to America from Italy, they worked for Milton Hershey. They worked for the Hershey Hotel. So my great grandfather was a mechanic, and my great grandmother worked in the laundry. So he was instrumental in helping immigrants, get a foothold here in the Hershey Palmyra area. So I owe a lot to Milton Hershey.
There you go. I'm glad I put him in my top three then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So we both had inventors for number 3.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we had Ben Franklin and Milton Hershey in our number 3 positions. We're going to proceed on to round 2 after I help you plug hometown history. And I would love for you to talk about how this all came about. You went into a little bit in the first part, but how this all came about and what you're doing in the York County area, and how you're trying to kind of disseminate this kind of history out to a lot of people.
Sure. Well, during the COVID years, Jim McClure, who is basically Mr. York County, he introduced Jamie and I, and he thought, what a great way to get history out to a younger crowd than 2 young women. Jamie was actually a history teacher at Milton Hershey School at the time. She now runs a nonprofit. And that's where she's at tonight, actually. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the officer-involved shooting in York County, and Jamie's nonprofit works with a safety collaboration, which is in partnership with the community and police officers. So unfortunately, through that tragedy, Jamie's dealing with that tonight. But Jamie and I got together and we said, we're going to do something that's completely York County centric. So hometown history, Jamie and Domi's Yoko backstory was born. And it started with just a YouTube channel. We filmed our first video in someone's backyard. We used my cell phone. We didn't have scripts. We kind of just wung it for 40 minutes in her backyard, and it went over really well. And our first episode, we were talking about just basic hometown history in Newberry Township, which was where we filmed it. And then we've started going further throughout York County. So we've done the Hex murders. We've done Civil War history, the Battle of Hanover. We've done the Golden Venture, which were the Asian immigrants that came over and were stuck on a boat, and then they were imprisoned and they were making art in jail while they were going through the immigration process. So we've covered civil rights, we've covered, murder trials, you name it, we've talked about it. But it's always York County centric, and we always try and make it easy for people to digest. So we try and make it 45 minutes or less. We've cut our videos down even less than that sometimes on YouTube. And then we've brought in experts on the topic. So we'll do interview segments where we interview someone that's an expert or someone that actually lived through what we're talking about. And that we found is really accessible too. So the whole goal is to make it accessible to the younger generation. Hopefully someone's using it in their middle school or high school classroom, or someone who just wants a little bit of history can go on Facebook Live or YouTube and watch our videos and learn something that they didn't know before.
That's awesome. And I'm sure that influences others to try it as well. Because I know in my experience, I've had several people come up and say, I tried it because you tried it. And so I'm sure there's going to be other young people who are like, hey, I saw Domi do this. I want to try this. Or how does this also pan out for you when you're going out into the public with these kinds of stories? Because you started with videos, but now you're actually doing in-person events as well. How does that, how has that played into this kind of mission of Yoko backstory?
It's been great because we've gotten a really diverse audience. And when we do events in restaurants or bars, or we go on location and we film things and we have a live audience, there's always audience participation. So we always make sure that there's a question and answer period where people can ask the questions that they really want to know. Or sometimes people have stood up and said, hey, you got a fact wrong. Let me, correct you on that. And it's really nice because it's never in a harsh way. It's they want us to learn and we want to teach them as well. So I've noticed that about the history community is everyone's really helpful and we're not stepping on toes. No one's like, hey, I make history videos. We don't want you in the same profession. So everyone's been really nice. And I mean, here you are having me on your podcast. So, it goes the same way. It's like we're all helping each other, trying to get the history out with the same goals.
Yeah, I've never been in competition with anyone, even though some have thought that I was in competition with them or they were in competition with me. I've always believed in the rising tide lifts all boats, and I've loved collaborating and doing stuff like this with other people because there's enough history out there for all of us to cover. We don't have to argue.
Absolutely. Like I said, Jamie and I have over 100 videos just about York County, and we're never going to run out of things to talk about. So
Right.
someone else could come in and start making videos only about York County history, and we'd probably never overlap with topics. There'd be plenty for all of us. And we want that. We want more people to say like, hey, I have the time. I'm going to try something new and I'm going to try and influence people and educate people about topics. I mean, that's wonderful. That's what we all want.
Yeah, and you could even be doing the same topic, but it comes across differently for each host, right?
Absolutely.
And how many people do we know who've done, including me, who've done so many videos on Gettysburg, but the way I talk about it may be completely different than the way someone else does, or the burning of Chambersburg or something like that. So John Gutschall, York is in the house. Welcome in. Thank you. That's a great Pennsylvania name. Gutschall.
Yeah, John is actually from New Jersey, believe it or not, but he works at the History Center in New York, and he's in my 87th PA Regiment.
I won't get on him about being from New Jersey. Let's see, anyone else here in the chat? Dave Rogers, good evening. How are you? Val, just saying, I'm in my 40s and I'm so interested in our history. I hope so.
I love it.
I hope when you're in your 80s, you're still interested in our history. There's no age limit on this stuff. We all like to just have fun and hang out and have a good time. Round number 2 is up next. Domi, why did I put 2 on this? Do you know?
For round 2, is that, I don't know. Document number 2?
No. Pennsylvania was the second to sign the Constitution.
Ah, okay.
See, nerds.
I like that.
December 12th, 1787. Second to ratify the Constitution was Pennsylvania. So I figured, let's make that round 2 because, as I said, I'm a nerd. I don't have a
nice little Easter egg in there.
Yeah. All right, Domi, your number 2 pick.
Okay, Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And he was born in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh, March 20th, 1928. And he passed away February 27th, 2003 in Pittsburgh. He is famous for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood that ran from 1968 to 2001. And then most famously, and the reason that I chose him, in 1969, he testified before a Senate committee on communications in response to Nixon trying to cut $10 million from public broadcasting. And thanks to the one and only Mr. Rogers, they ended up increasing the funding from $9 million to $22 million. And then in 1970, Nixon appointed him as chair to the White House Conference on Children and Youth. So Mr. Rogers was just absolutely amazing when it came to abdicating for children and abdicating for public broadcasting.
Oh, I blew it. I could have wore a cardigan tonight in honor.
You should have, yeah. And of course, his mother knitted his cardigan, so you need a homemade knitted cardigan.
My mother's not going to do that. better not ask. Yeah, I mean, come on, you can't go wrong, Mr. Rogers. He's like here, I got my Mr. Rogers Funko Pop on my desk.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, more plastic hanging out in my thing, but Mr. Rogers has got a nice spot here on my desk. So yes, for a lot of us who grew up in homes without both parents, sometimes he was the father figure, teaching us certain lessons, and he definitely was someone who did that for me. So yeah, definitely got to have him on the list.
Yeah.
My number 2 pick is we have a couple people saying love Mr. Rogers. There you go. I know you're an actor when you go huzzah in my chat. Thank you.
I never heard anyone talk badly about Mr. Rogers, and that doesn't happen with a lot of people. So I'd be shocked if someone said he didn't deserve to be on this list.
Yeah, I might ban you from my channel if you say
I'm willing to fight for Mr. Rogers. Violence isn't the answer, but if I have to defend Mr. Rogers' legacy, I will.
Domi knows how to fire 3 rounds a minute out of
I
his mouth.
do.
So there you go. That's how it's gonna go down, everybody. So my number 2 pick is one that no one would expect from me. So I wanted to do something, and I'm like, this is gonna be on my top 3. I just don't know what position, but it's gonna be number 2. I went with Lucretia Mott.
Ooh, a sleeper pick.
Sleeper pick. Yeah.
I
This
like
is my wild card, and I have always been a fan of these 19th century women who stood up for women's rights, and
Yeah.
and abolitionists, women's rights, social rights, etc. Lucretia is from a Quaker family. She's born in 1793. She will not pass away to 1880. So, longevity is on her side with this. She believed totally in equality, simplicity. She was anti-war. She became a teacher and quickly noticed something unjust. The male teachers were earning twice what she was earning. And that realization really sparked a lifelong commitment to social justice for her and women's rights, etc. She became a Quaker minister and used her platform to speak out against slavery. In 1833, she co-founded the Philadelphia Female Anti-Slavery Society, one of the first integrated organizations of its kind. Her home was also a stop on the Underground Railroad, and she was known for her fiery speeches and moral clarity. This is my kind of lady.
Yeah, mine too.
In 1840, Mott traveled to London for the World Anti-Slavery Convention, but was denied entry because she was a woman. That moment of exclusion led to a powerful alliance with another great woman, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who I have the hots for as well. And together they organized the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848, the first formal gathering for women's rights in the U.S. The Declaration of Sentiments was signed at the gathering, and I want to read you a paragraph from it, everybody, because I want you to hear the echoes of a previous document in that document. The one paragraph I want to read says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these rights, it is the right of those who suffer from it to refuse allegiance to it and to insist upon the institution of a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness." Going back to the Declaration of Independence. So we can hear Thomas Jefferson in this document, even though Lucretia probably wouldn't get along with TJ. But that's a different.
See, I was hearing the Schuyler sisters singing in my head.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucretia was a cousin of Ben Franklin, by the way.
Very cool. I didn't know that.
Yes, she was, as I said earlier, she was anti-war. She was against the Mexican-American War, she was even against the Civil War. Even though she was an abolitionist, she did not believe that was the way to come about having abolition. In later life, she continued her philanthropy and preaching, consistently giving back to society. On November 11th, 1880, she died of pneumonia in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania, or Cheltenham, however you want to say that. I say it like the English now because I'm living in Canada. So Cheltenham. This is the part where this is like quintessential Pennsylvania to me. I can see this happening where I'm from, like the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. Remember, she's a Quaker preacher. Okay.
Mhm.
It is said that at her funeral, a hush came over the crowd for several moments before someone spoke up saying, "Who can speak? The preacher is dead."
Wow.
And I'm like, that's something that would happen at a funeral in my county. Someone would
Right.
be like, all right, who's gonna say anything? The preacher's right there in the box. So
Well, Newberry Town was founded by the Quakers, so
there you go.
we still have an active Quaker meeting house.
I didn't know until last week that she was related to Ben Franklin. So
That's a really cool twist in our list of people.
that's two people I would have loved to have seen meet.
I couldn't imagine them together.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
That's
conversations that they had.
oh yeah, that would be crazy. But yes, Lucretia Mott and Mr. Rogers rounding out our number 2 picks tonight. That's my wild card for tonight. So
I love it.
we want to hear some picks from the chat. If anyone has any more that we haven't gone over yet, you might pick our number 1 in the chat
Ooh.
because we haven't gone over them all yet. Honorable mentions, we also want to hit that too. Domi, do you have any honorable mentions that you can think of off the top of your head that you would want to, that didn't make your top 3? Maybe they make your top 5 or top 10?
Right. So I'm going to throw one out here, and I don't know if he technically counts because he wasn't born in Pennsylvania, but he's known for his work in Pennsylvania, and that's Dr. Salk, the inventor of the polio vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose that because my great uncle actually is a survivor of childhood polio. And he's living today, he's in his 80s, and he's lived his life with post polio syndrome. And if he could have gotten that vaccine, it would have changed the entire course of his life. Now, he's lived a great, wonderful, full life, but I've had to see, the ravages of polio with his body. And I think a lot of people think of polio as something so distant, or they think of people in iron lungs, and they don't realize there are people walking around our towns right now that survived having polio as children. And it's something that stays with you. And, I'm super pro vaccine, not to get political, but, give me any and all vaccines. I don't want to see people having any preventable diseases. So the fact that we have someone like Dr. Salk that wasn't necessarily born in Pennsylvania, but his life's work happened in Pennsylvania, another one from the Pittsburgh Latrobe area. They're getting a lot of recognition tonight with Mr. Rogers and Dr. Salk. But I just think he is someone that's really worth mentioning. Might be bending the rules a little bit just because he wasn't a native born Pennsylvanian, but I'd like to think that Pennsylvania can claim him for the work that he did.
Adopted Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yes. Armchair Commanders, you're pulling out the performing artist Pink. I forgot she was from Pennsylvania.
I feel like I think she's from Philadelphia.
She's from Doylestown.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up while you were talking. I'm like, Pink is from
Smart.
Pennsylvania? What part? And Doylestown. Did not know that. Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, okay.
That'd definitely be in my top 10. You got to have Wilt in there. Another one, Jim Thorpe.
Okay. That's a good one.
We're
Town
pulling
named
in
after him.
generals now. General Jacob Devers. My honorable mention was the top 5. I had to go with George Meade.
I love that.
He's always been my guy.
You and Gary Edelman, you love yourself some Meade.
Yeah. Meade's my boy.
Yes.
I wouldn't call that to his face, but the Sundance Kid. Wow, there's one that I didn't think of. Jeez.
We're really pulling them out of everywhere tonight.
Yeah. They're still coming in here. Yeah, there's so many. You're absolutely right, David. So many great athletes from Pennsylvania. A little Pennsylvania history here as a side note. I just saw that coming to a city near me up here in Ontario is the band Live.
Oh,
wow, I
yes.
loved Live back in the day. That were my guys. So I might see if I can go see them up here. Wear a Pittsburgh sweatshirt or something, or a Pennsylvania sweatshirt. But yeah, I just saw that's some Pennsylvania history. So thank you, everyone. You've got a lot of stuff coming up here in the chat. It actually crashed, which I'm reloading it right now. There we go. Okay. So Thank you everybody for your picks so far. We greatly appreciate you. Keep putting them in the chat. Keep saying people. We're going to be going on to our number one pick, however, and we got a little York County here in the photo.
I love it.
So you probably know why I picked this one, like why I picked this photo.
Because
other than you being here,
I don't know. Continental Congress.
First capital of the United States.
There you go.
Number one, 1777, Articles of Confederation. There you go. See, I'm not too far off tonight. I remember some of my Pennsylvania history.
Love it.
Domi, go ahead and do your number one.
Arnold Palmer.
There he is.
Good old Arnie. I don't know if you can see my Snoopy golf tattoo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So some backstory on my family. My grandpa, who was my best friend and my 100% person in life, he was an amazing golfer, and he taught my mom to golf and my brother and I. So we grew up around golf. So I was that little kid in elementary school that was like really into Tiger Woods, and no one understood why a little girl was into golf. And Arnold Palmer, I just think he's one of the coolest people to ever live. So he was born in Latrobe, like Mr. Rogers, in September 10th, 1929. And he lived to be 87 years old. So he had a really long life. And some fun facts about him are he was a Freemason. He joined in 1958. He was a Coast Guard veteran. He actually dropped out of college after the death of a friend. He went to Wake Forest and he dropped out to join the Coast Guard. And he was in from 51 to 54. And then in 1954, after his military career ended, he got the opportunity to go pro in golf. He was actually at Wake Forest on a golf scholarship. And then he had 95 professional wins under his belt throughout his career, and 62 of them were in the PGA. So he was part of the big three with Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player. And there's not a lot of people that can hold a candle to the fact that he won 29 events from 1960 to 1963. That's just huge. That's, like Tiger Woods level of domination on the court. And then besides being a golfer, he was an amazing philanthropist. He and his wife did a lot for Pittsburgh. Tiger Woods' kids were actually born in a hospital named after Arnold Palmer's first wife down in Florida, which I thought was kind of a cool coincidence. But he also owned a car dealership in Latrobe for 36 years. So it was a Chrysler dealership in Latrobe, and it was called Arnold Palmer Motors. So very, fitting for that. But he was just amazing. He designed over 300 golf courses. He owned Bay Hill, which hosts the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He was an honorary starter for the Masters from 2007 until 2016. And then he actually shot his age, which is very hard to do. So he was 71 years old on the senior tour and shot 71. And there's not a lot of golfers that can even shoot 71, in their 20s, let alone at 71. But I love golf. I think it's an amazing sport. I love watching it. I know a lot of people think it's boring, but to me, it's like the best thing you can watch on television. And Arnie was just one of those people that embodied good sportsmanship and being a good person. So I think Pennsylvania should be very proud to have Arnold as a native son.
He also has the best mixed drink ever.
Yeah, the Arnold Palmer. So I don't know if the whole lore around that is true, but they say back in the 1960s, he was ordering the iced tea and lemonade just because it was one of his favorite drinks. And a woman at a table next to him overheard it and said, "Oh, I'll take the Palmer." And all of a sudden that started the Arnold Palmer effect. And I'm sure it did happen because it was something that he was ordering, but I don't know if it started because a woman overheard him at a restaurant or not, but it makes a good story.
Yeah, it makes a good bar story. So.
It does. Oh, and another thing I don't know if a lot of people know about him is he was terrified of flying. So to overcome his fear, he got his pilot's license.
Wow.
I know. Not how I would overcome my fear, because I don't like flying. You're not going to put me in the cockpit of a plane. But yeah, I think he took his last flight in 2011. So he was flying, well into his 80s. So
that's amazing. I didn't know he was afraid of flying.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, if you're just one of those people, you're like, I'm just going to overcome it by doing it myself.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is cool. I didn't get it. I didn't get the fear of flying till I got older. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay. I
I
was born with it. I've only been on a plane once, and that's enough for me.
I loved it as a kid. I actually thought about becoming a pilot, and then I went on a plane in 2015 for work, and suddenly I was like, I don't like this. I don't know
Oh,
what.
no.
So yeah, great pick. Love it. As a former golfer, I can attest to this guy. I always watched him as a kid. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, and a young adult, obviously, because he played till the end.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
he was amazing. Card-carrying member of Arnie's army.
that's right. That's right. Absolutely. My handicap was nowhere near that though. So
You weren't shooting 71?
I was a mid 80s guy on a good day. So no 71s here. 85 was a great day.
Hey, honestly, that is a very respectable score.
Yeah, I got pretty good after playing every week, but nowhere near 71.
What was
So
your go-to course when you played?
let's see. I played some down around Eastern Maryland and in
Okay.
Pennsylvania. But my Pennsylvania course of choice would probably be Carroll Valley in
Okay.
Fairfield. I love that course. There's another one there in Fairfield, and it slips my mind right now, but I like that one as well. Yeah, I played Penn National once and some other ones. Never played any out towards your way though. I never got a chance. I played some in Gettysburg,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, mainly in Fairfield and Gettysburg. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I sold my clubs and I
Understandable.
yeah, I just stuck with fishing. So just do that. So thank you again, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone hanging out. If you haven't already hit that like button, please do so. It helps us get this thing up the algorithm and all that other stuff. Subscribe if you like. We've got more live streams coming up before I start comprehensive exams, which that will take all of my time. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate everyone who's hanging out here tonight, and especially all of you from Pennsylvania for tuning in. Thank you. Bringing back some memories with the chat. My number one pick is Fred Rogers.
I love it.
And again, I should have wore a cardigan. They're in my closet over here. I should have wore one. I knew you were going to have a background on Fred because I saw your list and I'm like, oh, she picked Fred too. So I didn't want to go into great detail about him. Instead, I wanted to go put a couple quotes out there that could teach us how to connect better with our lives in contemporary times. What would Mr. Rogers say in our contemporary world about certain things, such as polarization and division? He talked about this. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. He taught us as kids about what this could be. He taught us basically radical empathy in a way, and that empathy is a strength, not a weakness. He believed in the dignity of every person, regardless of your background or belief system. He said, quote, as human beings, our job in life is to help people realize how rare and valuable each one of us really is. And this isn't just a statement, it's a day-to-day strategy for a lot of us. Coming here to a new place, moving from Pennsylvania to Canada for my doctoral training, has really shown me a different cultural way of engaging with people. Here, when you walk down the street, you say to hello to people who are walking, past you. I remember that as a kid, and we kind of lost that. Now you're worried, is this person trying to sell me something? Are they going to do something to me? Everyone's afraid to engage where I'm from. It's very sad. We've lost that sense of community. And Mr. Rogers' neighborhood was trying to tell you not to go down that path. Engage people. You never know when a hello to someone could mean the world, because you're literally just saying, I see you, and I think that could be a wonderful thing. He modeled all this by speaking even with the youngest children with respect and never condescending. And he was very kind and considerate, even to children who are very young and trying to learn, but they aren't there yet. And I've often thought, imagine our public discourse if we talk to each other like that. And too often we listen to respond instead of listening to learn. And I think Mr. Rogers would have had something to say about that. He talked also about mental health and anxiety on his program. He taught us that emotions aren't problems, they're signals. By acknowledging them, we build resilience, we grow stronger. His approach aligns with modern psychology. Basically, emotional regulation starts with naming the feeling and being open about that. And I talk to a lot of students about this sometimes, especially my male students, about engaging with these emotions. It's okay, it's fine. You're not gonna I'm not gonna hurt you by talking about this. Let's just talk. And I wish a lot more people did that for me when I was younger. And so I think being a mentor is very important in that way. And then the culture of comparison, which we see here on YouTube, where people are like, I have this many subscribers, this guy doesn't have enough, or whatever else. We're always comparing ourselves with other people. Fred Rogers was against that for obvious reasons. He realized that's not mentally healthy for people. With our world of influencer, quote, perfection, he would have been totally against that. He said, quote, you don't have to do anything sensational for people to love you. And that's a radical message for today's basically hustle culture in a way, but it invites us to reclaim our own self-worth, not through achievement, but through authenticity. This is why I tell people, don't look at the numbers that you have if you're trying to build something like we have, Domi, with your work or with my work, or anyone who's watching on here who does some sort of digital work. Don't look at the numbers. Think of the impact of that one person who you may be helping to want to talk about history or study history, or just want to be here in the chat rather than doing something awful to themselves. Mr. Rogers was all about that life. So he's been my number one pick for years and years, and he'll remain in that top slot.
I love it. He deserves to be. He's my number 2, you're number 1, so it equals out. He is an amazing person, and I would love to see someone sort of step into that role in today's culture and be our new Mr. Rogers. I think there's people, out there that are very similar to him, but they need a larger platform to be able to reach a bigger audience. I mean, the public broadcasting, just Mr. Rogers being on PBS. He's not someone that I watched as a child, but he was someone that I became more interested in later in life, reading his biography. He's just an amazing person that really, he lived life the way you're meant to. He wasn't here for the numbers or the fame. He was here to make an impact and help as many people as he could. So,
yeah, we need many more Mr. Rogers right now, and especially on digital format, especially online. We need more people like that. We need more people on the streets like him, and helping people out. And it's up to us to carry the torch as best as we can, and be the best that we can each day. We fall short of Mr. Rogers many times, but he's a guiding light for many of us. David, my wife's college roommate, worked for PBS and knew Mr. Rogers. We got married on his birthday, March 20th. We used his theme song to come in our reception. Wow.
I love that. That's so amazing. Cool.
That is amazing. I love that, David. That is fantastic. That's cool. All you needed is the ring bearer to be the trolley. And that would have just rounded out the evening, right? Please tell me that happened.
Yeah, I was going to say the minister should have had on a cardigan.
Yes. Come in and change his shoes, put his
that would have been amazing.
That would be amazing. The world needs more. You're absolutely right. The world needs Mr. Rogers. That's fantastic, David. And that's one way to always remember your anniversary.
Yeah, very smart, actually.
That's right. I got married on July 1st. So Canada Day every year, it's like they put fireworks on. So I know we're good to go with that. Here's our picks for this evening with that lovely Pennsylvania background on there. Domi with Arnold Palmer, Mr. Rogers, and Ben Franklin. I got Mr. Rogers, Lucretia Mott, and Milton Hershey for
it's a solid list.
That is a solid list. That is pretty good. We got people who are fighting for empathy and rights. We got some sports stuff on there. We have chocolate. we got it. We got it all. Yeah.
Yep. Founding fathers. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other picks in the chat? We would love to see what you got going on there. Domi, can you see the chat on your end? I can't.
I
remember.
don't think so.
I can't remember if I put it where you can see the chat or not.
I currently don't see the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would
That's
love
okay.
to do that, but I don't know where that setting is right now because I got two screens looking at me, and I'm like, "Where is this?"
That's okay.
But if anyone has any more picks before we round out our evening, please let us know in the chat. Please let us know anyone we missed. We know we missed earlier. We missed. Well, here's another one. Larry Holmes, heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, Larry Holmes.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. I was a big boxing fan when I was a kid.
Okay.
So Larry Holmes, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I don't know why. I was into boxing and hockey. How did I turn out chill?
Into the violent sports. It's exciting now. I used to play the boxing game on Nintendo 64 and I was always Butterbean.
Oh, yes. Butterbean. I remember Butterbean. No one else has any picks in the chat? If you don't, we'll round out our evening. I'm just making sure everyone is good to go, but we've had some great picks again. We got 5 great ones here that and we had some honorable mentions again. George Meade would be in my top 5. Definitely. I don't know who else I would have in my top 5 actually. That's a tough one. Milton and George will be going back and forth for number 3 because George saved Pennsylvania. So
right.
You know.
Yeah, and we have to be thankful for that. So
yeah, exactly. Well, since no one else has any picks, Domi, this has been fun. I've been so appreciative of your time this evening and picking out some great Pennsylvania history.
Thanks. No, this was really fun, and it got me thinking about different topics that I wouldn't have thought about with hometown history. So I enjoyed it.
Oh, that's great. If I can be a positive influence for you, that'd be fantastic. I love brainstorming and coming up with new ideas. So if I can help with
anytime
like
I can geek out about people or things that I enjoy, it's a good time. So getting to talk about my favorite people.
Oh, David asked any movie stars. Jimmy Stewart.
Yes.
You got to have Jimmy Stewart on the list. Maybe he's my 5.
Was Grace Kelly born in Pennsylvania or did she just live in Philadelphia?
Oh, let me look it up real quick. I think she was from that area.
Because I know when she got engaged to the prince, they met in her parents' living room in Pennsylvania.
That's right. She was born in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Hahnemann University Hospital.
There's some modern day people as well, like movie stars that I'm trying to think. The guy, Bradley Cooper. He's from the Philly area.
Oh, that's right. Michael Keaton.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think. M. Night Shyamalan. I know he films in Philadelphia. I don't know if that's because he's from there.
Maybe.
Or he's just like very Philadelphia centric.
One of my favorites of all time was born in Pennsylvania as far as actors and personalities. Jeff Goldblum was born.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was born Homestead or West Homestead. Okay. Yep. He's one of my favorites.
Instead of doing favorite Pennsylvanians, we could do least favorite, and we could say President Buchanan.
That's true. That would just be the list. President.
It would just be him. It'd be like, let me list all the reasons why, and I could go on for the whole podcast.
Yes. My family is from the area where he was born.
Okay. It's my condolences.
Yes, thank you. It's Stony Batter, Pennsylvania.
Stony Batter. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Appalachia. It's in one of those hollows of the mountains back there.
Down in the holler.
Yeah, west of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I think they list him as being born in Mercersburg, but he was my family was like, no, he was born in Stony Batter. And I'm like, that's the weirdest name, but okay.
It fits for the area you're describing, though.
Yes, because they're the ones who still use the R in Warsh. You sit on the Davenport, not the couch.
My grandpa had a Davenport in the living room.
Yep. Yep. That's old home stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So when I go back in December, I've picked up a little bit of Canada speak, and I still have the Pennsylvania speak. And people here think I'm from North Carolina. And I'm like, no,
Oh, okay.
I'm like, no, I'm from the Great Valley in Pennsylvania, right next to the Rocky
Mhm.
Mountains. And they think I'm just like Southern, and I'm like, no, that's the way we talk. And
That's
yeah,
funny.
so it's funny.
No,
It'd be great to go home and talk like that again.
my sister-in-law is from the Philadelphia area, and when she started coming around, she would say things like water ice. And I was like, "You mean Italian ice?" And she calls sprinkles Jimmy's. And I'm like, "No, no."
No, no, no. Yeah, I had to learn how to say subs again instead of hoagies.
Oh wow, they call them hoagies.
Yeah, I called them hoagies, and now it's like I gotta go for a sub. So
Yeah.
it's also pop up here, not soda.
Oh no, I'm definitely like a hard like soda.
Yeah, I'm team soda, and now I have to like tell people, oh, I meant pop, and then it's like, I can't do this. So yeah. But Domi, this has been great. Thank you again for being here, and everyone, you need to go follow Hometown History on Facebook and on YouTube.
Thank
No
you.
100+ videos that's happening over there, and I'm really happy with our picks tonight, Domi. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It was so much fun.
You're very welcome. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Be well. Be good to the people around you. Keep reading. Keep learning. I will talk with all of you very soon.